Yes, we were talking about cutting my hair.
We were totally discussing that. Hi everybody, how you doing?
How's
From Kingston's out there.
Hi everybody.
Look at this, we have somebody, I'm not holding an iPad anymore.
We're so high tech now. Our guests are on the TV now instead. Look how like crazy. Remember when we started, we were putting our phones on like a book?
Yes.
And that was so funny back in the day.
I'll never forget actually when we lived in our house, one of our videos that's out on YouTube right now was our phone taped to a pole that was in our house because we did not own a tripod back then.
Yeah.
So we had cases that had a flap on it and we used duct tape to tape our phone around a pole so that it was at eye level and we didn't have to like put it on a table or sit down.
So
wow, how things have changed.
Saturday to you all. Welcome for joining. Thank you for joining us for this workshop. We started this series when this whole lockdown started happening. We realized that we have time now. We're not visiting people, and so we thought we'd throw in this workshop to kind of give a separate view from our Sunday live shows. So. And these workshops, we always have guests, and today's guest is Lorraine.
Yes, and actually Lorraine, Mike and Sue are saying, good luck, Lorraine! So we've already got some of your fans watching right now, which is awesome. I love that.
Yeah, yeah, they're actually saying good luck.
Thank you, Mike and Sue.
That's awesome.
So, Lorraine, let's talk about where we met Lorraine. Actually, where did we meet Lorraine? I think we met because we showed up at one of your workshops. Lorraine is a WW coach.
Yeah, well, you showed up. I was trying to think of it the other day as well. It wasn't my workshop. I was in on a workshop, and so were you. And then just some of the things I was saying and you were saying, afterwards, you reached out and said, we have to chat, we like you, or something like that.
Yeah, and I remember that because I remember actually sending a message. I think it was a private message in the group, and I was like, wow, whatever you're saying is really resonating strongly with us.
Yeah.
And then come to find out you were an actual workshop coach. You're an actual coach as well, which was even more fantastic. We love when we meet new coaches because it's so cool to see everyone's journey within the WW world because WW hasn't been your only world, Lorraine, right? Like let's talk about.
Well, let's talk about celebrations.
Oh,
first.
I completely forgot about that.
So first, everybody in the chat
jumping the gun
on Facebook or on YouTube, share your celebrations this week. And remember, it's not just scale success; it's success in any way. If you joined a W Games tracking challenge, if you went and did a walk all week, just share anything you feel proud of in a chat right now. And let's celebrate everyone's accomplishments this week. For us. I weighed in today. I weighed in at 182.3. I'm down 1.1 pounds this week. So since isolation, I'm down like 6 pounds, and you're the same thing.
I'm the exact same thing.
Yes.
We're both the exact same weight right now. Again.
2 weeks in a row.
This has never happened to us.
We lost the same amount
in the history of us being together. We've never weighed the same either. Like but it's been happening more often it seems right now, which is very interesting.
And everybody's saying down 4, down 1, down 0.4. So.
And I was just told that the Mike and Sue, Lorraine, are Sue from Moncton who was talking about peanut butter.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
She remembers. She knows who she knows. That's awesome.
I love seeing everyone's success.
On that point. Even if there are members out there who are resistant to share something about their week, maybe they think it's too incidental, everything that you share will help somebody.
Yes.
Know that no matter how simple you might think it is, it could be the thing that really resonates with somebody this week.
It's so true, Lorraine. We've mentioned that
we've
so
actually, it's
often
one of our mantra, or one of our things we encourage people to do because we felt the same way. We thought what we knew, everyone knew. We always thought that our tips, our recipes, what we ate, the things we did, everybody else knew. So when we started sharing, people say, I didn't know that. We're like, oh, we thought everyone knew this. And so everybody thinks what they know is just common knowledge, but it's not.
Even to this day, I'm amazed when someone says, I just found out about 2-ingredient dough.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, it's been out forever now, but people are still just learning about it. So don't feel like not sharing. Sharing is caring.
Yeah,
sharing is completely caring. And this is a safe environment. Like, share the goods, the bads, the uglies, because you know what? We need to share all of that.
Yeah. So sorry, honey, I just want to make sure you go right back to what you're talking about.
No, I'm totally glad we did celebrations because it's so important. You know what's cool, Rosie? Rosie says she's eating a salad, and this was a cute little segue. At one of the workshops we attended this morning, one of the members said, I've created myself a salad buffet in my fridge, so that way every day when I go for lunch, I have all my veggies cut up in containers. I
Oh,
have
my
my lettuce
lettuce.
prepared in a bowl, and all I need to do is pour some in a bowl, grab a sprinkle of this, a sprinkle of that, and boom, I have an instant salad. I was like, I love that idea. Like, what a cool concept to create that.
It's all about prepping sometimes. It really helps you cut
Like
down.
going to Ponderosa.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I love it. So let's start talking about your journey,
Yes.
Lorraine. So we talked about it last week when we actually had a phone call with you. So we want to hear a bit more about it because I think people will be interested to hear. First of all, there's some things you said last week that hit us like, whoa, like it's exactly like kind of what we thought. So share us a bit about your story.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I love my story, and I don't even talk about it that much. So, I'm relatively confident that probably none of the audience would know that I was one of the very first full-figure models in Canada. This would have been in 1984. I left my hometown to go to Toronto because I wanted to pursue modeling. I loved modeling, pageant work, that kind of thing. And so I didn't get much work because full-figure models really didn't hit their heyday.
And I'm sure that probably had an effect on you, right?
But nonetheless.
It probably had an effect on you, right? The fact that it probably had it probably affected you in some way at that time.
Absolutely, no question. So, you know, and then so I did the modeling thing, and then I moved back east. I was 20, and when I was in my mid-20s, I just started to realize I wasn't able to fully express myself at my current weight. But I had never really acknowledged that before that. I had always said things like, you're big boned, you have a big structure. I had all these justifications for why I was 185 pounds.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
I think we all do.
Yep.
It's family. That's how it's hereditary.
So I just decided it was January 1992. I want to lose weight, and I joined Weight Watchers. And I lost 35 pounds over the period of a year.
Amazing.
It was a great, healthy weight for me. And it kicked off my love of nutrition and exercise. And later on, the whole mindset that's so critical to maintaining that weight loss. So I actually ended up having 4 careers. My last 25 years spent as a natural nutritionist. I have some of the highest credentials as a personal trainer in Canada, a certified wellness coach. And so I kept the weight off all those years. And had a business helping other people do the same thing. In 2015, I wrote a book, and I actually highlight Weight Watchers in the first chapter, in being an integral part of my weight loss, but also my career. And so, fast forward to 3 years ago, I was in my mid-50s, and I had given up my personal training business because I had the chance to buy the modeling agency that I had been involved in for 30 years.
How cool is that?
That's
like,
amazing.
that's
I know
like
when you
what
said
a,
that.
what
I know why. You know why that really
Yeah.
hit us when you said that? It's because we've always talked about like your dream was modeling, and that's what you wanted to do, and then eventually you got there. Us, we have
You
similar.
know, my hometown did a big article on me when I went away to be a model, right? And it was a pretty lengthy story. And I just had the chance to reread that when I was at my mother's house a year ago. And the very last paragraph said, someday Gilmore hopes to own her own business.
And it happened. That's amazing.
And it happened.
That's the thing, and
it goes to show you that when you put a goal in front of you, you can achieve it.
It might take a long time.
Who knows how long it'll take
But
you?
it might happen, and that's why it was paralleling to us. Like Jean-Luc, you guys have all heard him sing. Jean-Luc is an amazing singer. He's wanted to sing. He's wanted to be a singer since he was a child. And so he liked being on stage in front of people on TV. And now, as a 40-year-old, he's now on YouTube, on Facebook, living that kind of dream. And I, as a kid, loved I'm in techie. I was doing websites as a kid. And so now I have a popular Facebook page, YouTube, so I have a popular website now. So we both, again, just like you, Lorraine, we worked out our goals and got there eventually. So that's why we're trying to show you guys out there, set a goal, and it doesn't matter how long it takes, but if you always try to work towards it, you might get there someday.
Yeah. Or you will get there someday, but it doesn't.
Exactly. I spent my whole career motivating and inspiring people to be the best version of themselves. And I'm a huge advocate of whatever your passion is, you need to stay attached to it somehow.
Yeah.
Even if it's not full time, even if it's not how you're making your money, you stay connected to it. And I always stayed connected to modeling in some fashion. No pun intended.
I remember.
In some way, I stayed connected and never let it out of my realm of possibility that somehow in my future, modeling and fashion would play a bigger part. I didn't know how, but that wasn't my job to know how.
Right.
My job was to know the what.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's the Weight Watchers for a second, to bring this all full circle.
Yeah.
So 3 years ago, when I gave up my business, I was in my mid-50s, and I just started to gain a little bit of weight. Pound here, pound there, 5 pounds over a year. And I was like, if I don't get some accountability, this is going to get ahead of me. And so I believe it was the fall of 2017, I walked into Weight Watchers. And I haven't looked back. I knew that my goal was going to be a WW coach, because now that I had given up my business, that was missing from my life, right?
Well, it's funny
And
that's
I
the.
knew that I wanted to be a coach.
That when we did speak the other day, that's one thing that stood out to me was the fact that you even said, I knew that if I needed to do something, I had to go back to WW. After yourself creating your own fitness regime and having your own followers and being a nutritionist,
you still went
but
back
said
to WW.
WW still has the foundations that I need in order to be successful in my journey.
Which is amazing.
And I'll tell you why. It doesn't matter. I always used to say that if intellect was the problem, I wouldn't have had any clients over all those 25 years. Intellect is not the problem. It's staying in an environment that's conducive to the right frame of mind to make the choices that lead you to the healthy lifestyle.
Especially
Everybody knows how to do it. Ask anybody.
Especially for those who also have a dependency on foods for other than only nutrition, right? Like, I mean,
which we all do somewhat.
Yeah, but some more than others. And I find when you are in a group of people that think the same way, that have the same struggles, but that can share it openly, it really allows us to communicate more, and it allows us to do some
well, we said it. Like, the biggest switch this time for us was the mindset.
Yeah.
And from what Lorraine is saying here, a lot of it has to do with mindset. It has to do with you being loving yourself, being proud of yourself, being like having your mind like be positive and set yourself goals and try to achieve them. And and that's what we've been talking about a lot throughout all our workshops we've been doing today. And that's why I like that you're bringing that same aspect to what your story is that you set yourself a goal, you wanted to do it, you achieved it, but you also you were positive about it, and you also always try to enrich your own life and make yourself a better person as much as possible, which is what we should all be doing all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And the mindset is you have to create an environment that you are surrounded by the right people, and that your environment, be it your job or what fills your spirit, that is all an aspect of it. Because if you're happy in the kinds of things that you're doing, you're going to be less likely to overeat.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people who turn to food for comfort, they're not happy in other aspects of their life. And so the mindset is a huge piece, because ultimately you have to tap into what is going to make me want this more than I want food.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that's hard to learn, because especially since
that takes a long time.
We're raised to have food as reward.
Well,
we're raised to have food as You're
celebration.
Celebration. You're raised to have food as, oh, I'm having a bad day. Food. Here you go. Here's a happy piece of apple pie to make you feel better.
Food is the addiction you can't get rid of.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, you need food to live, and we've said this several times where you cannot just say, I'm never eating again.
No,
that doesn't exist.
Or you can't say, I'll escape somewhere. I won't see food ever again, because you're gonna
need it.
Everywhere you go, there's advertisement for food.
Exactly. So. It's just learning how to make the right choices and learning how to create that healthy relationship with it.
And learning that you need to forgive yourself too, because that's definitely a big piece there too.
It's wasted energy. It's like a bank account. To focus on the mistakes you made or little slip-ups that you had, there's not anything you can do about it. So to continue to waste valuable energy, focusing on it, that's like taking money out of your bank account and just like...
Yeah. And we always, it's funny that you use the bank account analogy, because we always use that with our points.
Yeah.
We always said our points is like a bank account. You can only spend that much a day, so you got to plan for it. If you want to go on a vacation, you need money for it. You plan for it. You save up. You can't just go, oh, this is like minus 20. I have extra points. It doesn't just happen that way. So you kind of have to think the same way with your points. You pretend that you don't have that extra 20, and then you plan for it so that you can always have it fall within your range.
Right. And the other analogy that I use around money is, we don't whine and have a temper tantrum when we don't have enough money to go on a fancy trip. I want to go on a vacation. I deserve one.
Yeah.
But we do that with our food and our pork.
Yeah, so true.
You know?
So true.
You have the point. You have the points that you have, and you get to decide how to use them.
Yeah. And we always...
Nobody else gets to make that decision.
And that's the thing, and the thing is that too, is that decision you make, you have to be okay with it no matter which way you go with it, because it's your decision, and then afterwards when you made that decision, you need to be able to accept what you did. If it's a positive or a negative, you need to accept it and move on and go on to the next meal, because I'll tell you right now, like we said this multiple times, the thing that was a big deterrent for us constantly doing this journey all those years where we tried over and again, we were so bad and mad at ourselves when we would mess up. We would completely... We would negate everything we did
because of one slip up. And it had been so good for such a long time, but because we ended up having one slip up, we let everything fall.
And when I say one slip up, is it one day? Well, we'll say, example, we go away for a week on a vacation, we eat everything we want on vacation, and then we come back and we just say, oh, whatever, we already messed up anyways. We didn't control ourselves on vacation, why continue? And that's not the right mindset. The mindset should be, you know what, I had fun on vacation. That was 1 week out of 52 of the year. So that 1 week won't destroy.
That calls for this.
Vibe reset.
Vibe reset.
Love it. Vibe reset. And that's kind of funny because that's what the topic was today at most of the
workshops.
The workshops today was a refresh, a reset. You know, and one of the things that we realize is you don't when you're resetting something, it doesn't mean you unlearn everything you've already learned. It just means
you just re-examine it again.
Yes.
You make sure you're correct. You make sure that you have the right points. And if you see something, oh, that's a little off, you bring something else in to kind of change it up so you can have a better, make it work a little better for you.
And I think how we view it too, because you are never going to get rid of the slip-up.
Yeah.
That's going to be the rest of, right? So it's all about how fast can you pull yourself back in from it.
And that's why we say, that's why we say the every day is a Monday. We always say every day is a Monday. Because we used to always tell ourselves, oh, we'll start back on Monday, or on the 1st, or in January.
Yeah. You know what? I'll even go so far as to say it's not even every day. It's the next meal.
Yep.
It's the next snack.
Yep.
You don't have to wait till the next day.
Exactly.
So brush your teeth, write out your goals, say something that makes you feel good about yourself, and make the next meal your return.
I love how you said that too. Have that, whatever you did, if you indulged at that point in the middle of the day, go brush your teeth.
Yeah.
Get that taste out of your mouth. So that way when you go to your next meal, you still aren't thinking of that craving. And I love that. And that's such a small little thing that we don't think about, but we have taste buds still, no matter which way you look at it.
And I should tie it back into someone who's watching right now. Lynn Bordage is watching right now, and I'm watching her comments, because before we logged on, we were seeing the comments. Her and Rosie were talking, and she was saying that the last 2 weeks, she's been working out like crazy. She follows us on our workouts, and she said, I've gained the last 2 weeks, but I'm okay with it, because I know I've been working out, and I know that sometimes happens. And that's the attitude you're supposed to have. The scale cannot always be your measurement. You have to see, I'm being healthy by working out, so your body's changing. You're getting muscles you never had, so so you have to account for that. Your body is not going to just respond right away to everything you do to it.
Even before that, before there's any incremental muscle build, what happens is as you're exercising, salt and water proportions can get thrown off. Your cells will pull in water. And so your weight will get artificially inflated. It's not weight gain, it's fluctuations of water being different than what they normally are.
I love hearing it from the expert because we never knew why. We just knew that's what it was.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's not muscle. That would be impossible over that shorter period of time. But it is your body mucking around with the balance of water.
Because it's shocked. Because it's like, oh, you haven't done exercise in forever. That muscle's never been used.
Well, I need to retain water because if you're going to extract too much water, we can't. We need to have a certain amount of water in our body.
Yeah. And that's one of the things we tell people. It's like you can't, the worst thing to do is get mad at yourself for having a slip up. It's the worst thing you can do. And I know that people think this is slip up, that's the worst thing. No, it's what you do after the slip up that's the worst thing. And that's what people don't seem to understand.
Exactly.
Well, it's just like our whole thing of you don't really fail unless
you try.
If you haven't tried, you haven't failed.
Yeah. So you might as well try. If you haven't tried, you failed.
Yeah, if you haven't tried, you failed.
Yeah, because trying is not failure. Trying is attempting something because you never know. You might get. It's like our classes every day. People say, I can't do that yet.
But
right?
It's so funny because we automatically think we can't do something and we're so surprised when we actually can. You know, and I'm sorry to say, there are some people that would naturally be able to do something. There's some people that can pick up a microphone and sing, no problem whatsoever. But guess what? That's not everybody. There are some singers out there that had to practice and learn and understand the notes and understand the keys in order to become where they are now.
Well, Joey Casey said in her video that we released this week, the top 10 tips for new WWE members. You have to take the time to learn.
Yeah.
And we said this at workshops. When you learned how to bike, did you get on a two-wheel bike and start riding down the street? No. There were stages. You did a tricycle first. First you learned to walk. Then you did a tricycle. Then you did a bike with training wheels. Then you took off the training wheels and someone held you and tried to help you practice.
And then you fell off the bike.
And you got back on.
And you bruised your knee and you cried, but then you got back on because everybody else is riding a bike, so I want to ride a bike too.
And people seem to look at WWE and don't think that they need time to learn, but that's the same aspect. You can't expect to learn everything in 1 week. A lot of people walk into the workshops and after a month they think they know everything. You learn something every day. I'm sure, Lorraine, you learn stuff probably every single day.
I am still learning. I'm still learning with all of the education and reading and training I have across the 3 pillars of WW, which is managing your food, incorporating exercise, and getting in the right frame of mind. I learn from my members every day.
Yeah, and that's us too. Like we actually, I wanted to talk about this today, so I think I'll bring it up now. But we had a kind of an epiphany on the weekend. Or yesterday actually, on the weekend. The days seem all the same now because of this Groundhog's Day we're living. But we had an epiphany that our weight loss, when we work out a lot, like we're doing right now, and when we eat very well, our weight loss is on point. We lose weight like crazy. If one of them wavers, if we start releasing a bit on the track, a bit on the workout, we start maintaining. We don't lose, we just stay the same. But if any of them drop below a certain threshold where we stop working out completely for a few weeks, then we start gaining again. And so we realize that now that we actually have to at least keep some activity and our food has to be constantly. But if we want to start maintaining, we're okay with slowing down our workouts. Then we don't have to work out just as much as we're working out right now. We learned that our bodies work that way. And sometimes your body, you'll have to look at your own body to see how you need to do things to figure out what works for your own body.
And Jane just said something here in on the thing saying, even at lifetime, I'm still learning. And of course, there is never a time in your life that you should stop learning.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Never.
And I always say to people, if you are somebody who has struggled with weight even one time in your life, you can never not layer in accountability. Wherever it comes from, you've got to have accountability forever and ever.
Yes, definitely.
I've said to some members who say, oh, I can't wait till I can be done with tracking. And I'm like, say what? Yeah, no, there's no being done with tracking.
Yeah.
No, because we know what happens.
The reason you came to Weight Watchers in the first place is to clearly you are not accountable to what you're eating.
Exactly.
And it's funny because we always tell people that if you think that you're gonna do this, come in and then lose all your weight, get the goal, and then you can go back to your old habits, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work for you. You're gonna regain all your weight back. And sorry, that's the reality of it. You need to come into this thinking, how can I make this fun for me and enjoyable so I can do this all the time for the rest of my life? And that's a lesson we learned this specific stint. We never learned it this way. We always thought we're gonna get the goal and that's it. We're gonna be able to, and now.
And I think too, it's that huge comparison. I think we as humans compare ourselves to other people when we should never compare ourselves to anybody. Because as soon as you put a comparison there, you're thinking, I'm not able to do the exact same work that this person's doing, so I can't do it. Instead of saying, I'm gonna do what I can do because this is where my abilities lay. Like Renee just said.
The dangerous part about comparing yourself to anybody is you don't know what they're doing to have achieved whatever it is they have that you would like to have. You know, I always say, don't envy that skinny mini because for all you know, she's getting up from the table and going in the bathroom and throwing up. So don't waste your valuable energy because you don't know what's going on with them either.
Unless you're in their head 24/7.
Yeah, the only person that's in your head is yourself.
Yeah, so you can only know what you yourself are doing.
You only know what you're doing. You only know what you're controlling.
And what's funny is that we never competed with each other.
Never.
We did back in the day, somewhat.
Yeah.
But this time around, we know we lose weight differently, so there's no way we could compete with each other. So we compete with ourselves instead.
I also know I'm 6 years older than he is. He's gonna be able to do some jump stuff that, oh wait a minute here, my bones aren't exactly the same, but I'm gonna end up building to
like
it
a
eventually.
rabbit or a frog or a kangaroo.
And I even this morning we did a 30-minute workout class, and for the first time in a long time, I was actually able to do some of the jump squats, which I was very pleased with.
I remember a few weeks ago we were sitting down on these chairs, and I feel a little bit better than a few weeks ago. So I'm very happy. Your pants.
My shorts were like creeping up. I was like, I swear they're not that short. They're just creeping up a little bit. So we want to open up for some questions.
And that's another thing. Back to the members' comment about about incorporating all three aspects of the program. You know, I often run across members who are still trying to almost kind of inject their own version of a program into things, and then they don't have the success, and then they're like, this isn't working for me, and I'm like, well, no, actually, you're not working the program. The program works 100% of the time.
Yeah,
You're not working the program.
And I think,
and I will say to those types of members, WW scientists have done all the work for us.
yeah.
We just have to work the program. And if we do that, you will get success 100% of the time.
And I think a lot of people, like we've said it before, a lot of people, and that's our society, we want the quick fix.
Yes.
We want that magic pill. We don't want to have to work
We want
for
a
stuff.
potion.
And it's true. We're all like this. We're all humans are like this. We have a freaking vacuum that vacuums for us. We're all innately want to have things made easier for us. So if we could find a pill, something that makes us lose weight that quickly, we would go on it.
But the thing is,
if people want that from WW, they don't want to put the work in.
It's the whole
Sometimes.
process
What if I
too,
told
though.
you I had the pill?
You have the pill?
I do.
It's WW?
It's tracking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the pill. It is.
I have the magic pill.
You have to think too, it didn't take a week to put on all the weight that you did put on or that we actually gained. This is sometimes some of us it's a lifetime.
Yeah.
So you can't expect something that took a lifetime
To
happen
to go away
that
in
it's
2
going
minutes.
to take a minute or two for it to go away.
And the thing is that
And you know, it's not unlike other areas of our life, guys. We all have things that we're really good at.
Yeah.
Some people are really gifted with their finances. Some people are really gifted with their relationships. Others are really gifted at easily managing their health and weight. Other people are amazing philanthropists. We can't have everything locked down.
Exactly.
There's some things we need help with.
Yeah.
And for us, this happens to be that thing that we need help with.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's like no one's really taught like all these things about food growing up. Like no one knows about all these items. Like I didn't know half the stuff that I know now back when I was growing up. So I didn't know what I assumed what I was eating was just right. Like that's what I was supposed to eat because I was raised that way, right?
Rosie made two great comments. She goes, one of the most important things is to be happy and to love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, it's harder to find yourself worthy enough to take care of yourself. And that is so true.
Yeah.
You need to love yourself in order to take care of yourself. And sometimes it's the hardest thing
And
to
you know,
do.
one of the steps to loving yourself is you have to honor what you have said you will do for yourself.
Yeah.
Because every time you come in under what you said you were going to do, you erode that self-love.
Yeah.
And that's why setting reasonable goals is important. Don't set them so lofty or high that you are unlikely to reach them, because then you beat yourself up.
And that's the most funny, Lorraine, is one of the things that we removed from our journey this time. We always tell people this. We no longer do date set weight loss goals anymore. Because back in the day, we would say, I want to lose 20 pounds. And usually we started in January, so I'll be honest. We always started in January. We did WW, except for the one time we started in May. But every time we say, I want to lose 20 pounds by August 10th or by whatever date. Then we get there, we lose like 18.3. We'd be so mad at ourselves because we missed it by 1.7. Instead of celebrating that 18 we lost. And I know a lot of people do that. And I see it online all the time. People, they berate themselves. I wanted to get this goal and I might make it. Why does it matter when you make it? This journey is forever. So if your goal is I want to lose 10 pounds, don't set a time frame. Just try to get to that 10 pounds. Even if you just set a goal of 5 pounds first, and then you get it, check it off, and you do another 5 and another 5, and slowly chip away at the work you're doing. Don't do the full 100 if that's what you have to lose. And that's what we did this time.
Completely.
So is there any questions?
Because if this is a lifetime thing, what does it matter to get there on August 1st or October 1st? What does it matter?
And is it August 1st, 2021 or October 1st, 2025?
Because when we started, we wanted
still
to
get there.
We wanted to by October 1st, 2011, but we ended up getting it January or October 2018, right?
So we do want to open it up for the next
I have a question right here,
couple of
actually.
minutes for some questions. So
Yes.
if anybody in the live chat and
I have one right here from
YouTube
Facebook.
want to ask some questions, but Nick has one from Facebook.
So Fiona asked, question for all three of us. Do you all love yourselves? Did you all love yourselves at the beginning of your journey? The first try, the second try, and the last try. Like all those tries, did you always love yourself throughout all those journeys? So Lorraine, I'll let you answer first and then we'll answer for us after.
You know, I have always loved myself. The best way I would categorize that with an answer is, but before I lost the weight, I just didn't feel like I was able to fully express myself. Since losing the weight, you know, starting in 1992, and then I lost 17 pounds when I joined 3 years ago. Again, it comes back to where my comfort zone is to express Lorraine 100%.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So for us,
I'll let you go.
Okay, so for me, I did not love myself for years. I was actually, as a teen, I've talked about this before, I was a suicidal teen, so I did not love myself through my teenage years. It was having to do partly because a lot of my weight issues had to do with being gay, because I could not accept who I was, and so I've talked about it before, it prevailed through all those years, and then when we met, Jean-Luc did change me. He changed me a lot. I've always thought I had good skills, but I just thought people have always hated me. That's one of the things I've always feared. And so that continued through almost all the journey. All those years, 2011, 12, 13, all those years that we tried, I don't think I ever really loved myself throughout all those stints. It only started happening really when I joined my current job and when I started losing, which would actually coincide at the same time as when I joined WW. My current job and WW kind of started at the same time, and I started changing who I was at the same time, and I got self-confidence during that time, and that's what allowed me to start doing stuff like this, because I would never be on public camera or video before any of this. There's video of us in the past, I usually try to hide behind the camera because I didn't want to be on it. He was always on the camera, I was always hidden. So that's my journey in terms of loving myself.
Yeah, and
I do love myself now. I love me. Love me.
I'll be honest with you, I think I had a love-hate relationship with myself, but the hate was more predominant. I never really spoke about it though. It was always something that I kept secret. I never felt good enough. I never felt, smart enough, or even to this day, singing used to be a huge thing of mine because I used to love singing as a child, but I was mocked about it and always told, oh, you again, you get picked again, and I felt terrible. And I hated myself for that, and it wasn't till last year actually, till after this journey where I finally changed my mind and said, you know what? I need to love me for who I am and not worry what other people think about me, because that's their opinion and they're entitled to their opinion.
But it doesn't bother.
But I can't let their opinion change my opinion.
I'll be
of
the
me.
best person I can be. I'll be the best thing I can be. If they don't like it, then that's their own problem. I'm not gonna change who I am for anybody else anymore. And I used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
And I won't anymore because I realized I am a good person. I am trying to do the best I can.
And I finally realized too, I can't make everybody happy. There's no way, no one can do that. No one can make everybody happy. So who can I make happy? Myself.
And you. I'll make you happy.
And I'll make you
what,
happy.
You know what, Jean-Luc? There's a really important piece to that, and it's this. You can only inspire or help other people
Who want
if
to be
you
inspired.
are coming from a place of authenticity. So if there's no other driver for people to accept themselves, let it be this, that you can only help other people if you are coming to that relationship as yourself. Trying to be somebody else, to satisfy somebody else, now you're shortchanging the people who come into your life because you're not able to give them your authenticity.
Yeah, completely.
And it's funny because that's what at work they tell you about being your authentic self.
Be your authentic
yourself.
self.
If you, the best way to present yourself to the world is being your true
And
self.
for us, doing this and naming ourselves the WW
part of
Gays
that.
is a
Because
huge part of
we
that.
get attacked for that. We actually got attacked for it just a few weeks ago
Yeah.
on one Facebook group. A few people just commented about the fact that we're called WW Gays, and people don't seem to understand. Like, we labeled ourselves that because there's still got kids out there who look up and say, I'm in a family that doesn't understand me. And so if they see that we exist out there, there's a couple out there that are just a regular couple, and some people out there who maybe never watched a gay couple interact on any video like this, then it opens other people's eyes to see, they're just like us. They're just two guys that just have fun and they lose weight and they gain weight, and you know what I mean? We're normalizing our BS being a couple. We're trying to normalize that it's a regular thing.
I hate even using the word normal, because I don't think that word
That's not
is-
normal, but I'm making.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I hear this all the time. I am not for everybody. And I'm the first one to acknowledge that. But you know what? The people who do like me and who do get inspired and motivated by me,
Yeah.
those are my people. And
Amen.
so I'm not going to hold back myself because of the people who don't like me already.
Yeah.
So we had two questions. We had two questions, Beth.
To help the people who do like me.
Yeah. Definitely.
So the thank you.
So YouTube lost sound for a second.
YouTube
it'll
lost
come
sound
back.
for a second.
It'll come
so-
back. So
Let's have some nutrition or fitness questions.
So there was questions. So one question I had on there was that
What was the name of your book?
what is the name of your book?
Curve appeal.
Curve Appeal by Lorraine Peters, or what's by Lorraine Peters? Perfect. So Curve Appeal by Lorraine Peters. So go check.
How to look great and feel great in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond.
That's
Love
awesome.
it. Love it.
And then there's another question about, and I'll ask you this one too. There was someone that asked the question about what do you feel about weighing daily? And we'll weigh in on that after. But what do you feel about that?
Can I take that one first?
Oh yeah,
Of
go
course.
ahead.
There are so many reasons why we should not weigh daily. Back to that conversation about salt and water and fluctuations in weight. Weighing daily is not true. It's not reality. So you're getting on the scale and it's down, and so you go into this reward mentality. Oh, I did so good. I'm going to da 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 da. It changes how you think.
Yeah.
You get on the scale the next day and you're up, and now you're in restriction mode, you're in lack mode, you're in I
can't eat.
do well enough mode. so it changes your brain again. You get back on the next
playing
day,
with
you're
the
up
chemicals
a
in your
little bit
body.
more. Oh my God, what am I doing? Now you're panicked. You just need to work the program, trust the points, and wait once a week at the same time, and let the program take its course.
Definitely.
Giving weight daily, it will not do you.
And we will be
We
we're
are being
honest.
as transparent as
So,
possibly can
There's
right now.
been a gamut of weighing for us. So we used to weigh ourselves daily, morning and night.
Yes, it was terrible.
Daily, all the
Terrible.
time. And it used to affect us a lot.
Oh,
The last year we actually stopped. We would just weigh in at the workshop.
Yep.
We had no scale, we were just not using it. Recently, since we've been working out, we've actually started weighing in daily again. But it's no longer it's no longer a deterrent or it doesn't change us anymore.
well,
because
we've created a new relationship with our scale. Our
Yeah.
scale is no longer the number that we succeed by. Right now, it's just helping us understand how our bodies are working right now.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to see by the scale. We don't look at that scale and say, oh my goodness, I'm a little up, because we know and understand what you just explained, Lorraine. That our bodies are going to change
fluctuate
daily, that it's never going to be the same, and we get that. So we don't look at that scale and let it bother us anymore.
Just like, for example, I'll say this week my weight was 178.4 yesterday because I worked out and I weighed in after working out. This morning was 182.1. So that's really, if you think about it, a 4-pound difference. But I didn't feel down about it because I know from last week my actual weigh-in is down 1.1.
Yeah.
I still use my WW weekly weigh-in as my gauge. The ones during the week are just to see, well, how am I doing so far this week? Am I doing okay? Am I doing? And we tend to always use it only to see how our workouts progressing in terms of the week. So we do weigh daily. We have been.
We have been.
And we'll be honest, we have been.
We don't lie about stuff.
Yeah, we don't lie. We were honest.
We don't recommend it to people.
Another question I usually ask my members, in the mix and mingle before their wellness check-in, when we're in studio, I will say, how did you make out this week? And they say, oh, we'll see in a minute. They mean when they get on the scale. And so I will say, well, let's decide how you did before you get on the scale.
I love that.
Did you track all your food? Right? How do your clothes feel?
Your
How
clothes.
do you feel about your progress this week? Because let's face it, what if there were no scales? How would we all gauge our progress? What would success look like if we had no scales?
That's
So
so.
the scale should only be one of those factors that gets layered into the full picture.
We always say it's a measuring tool that helps to show progress on your journey. It's not the end all be all. Like, for example, Jean-Luc, when he gains weight, we'll be honest, it's all his chest. He gets man boobs right away. And so since Jean-Luc gained weight at Christmas, most of his dress shirts he would not fit. He has not been fitting. Last weekend when we did his birthday party and he wore a dress shirt, he actually wore it for the first time in months. Because it didn't fit. But the thing is that's one example right there. We've not seen the scale budge that much, but he already can fit in his clothes had been fitting in for months. And so that's a better indication in our mind that we're doing well than that scale that has not been budging as much. And that's what you need to use as you're doing this journey. So there was a question on here.
Something else that is very worthwhile. Let's use the getting weighed once a week as an example. Even that once a week weight, don't take that as the gospel. Pull yourself up and look at the 30-day view. How am I tracking over this mark?
Okay, I have to call something out right here on the chat because this is kind of crazy. So Fiona Noble Phillip, who asked a question earlier about loving ourselves multiple years, she asked us again another question. I'll go to the question in a second, but she also said she knew us when we first started WW in Mississauga years ago.
Wow.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So like 9 years ago, she says she still remembers us from that location.
That's insane.
So
Wow.
her second question was, would you all still love yourself if you gained all the weight back? And I don't think I would. I wouldn't, and I would, and not that I would not. The thing is that
I love myself too much now to even
take it
want
back
to let
there
that
again.
happen.
That's the difference. I don't think I'd get there right now unless something drastic happened. Because people out there, something's happened.
We never want to say never.
Yeah, but if we have all our abilities and we can still do the program, we can still afford to track, we can still get food like we're getting right now, we're still following program and we maintain our weight, we'll never allow ourselves to go back to where we were because we love ourselves too much to do that. But if I ever got there, then there must have been something happened because at this point, Yeah. How about you, Lorraine?
If you were to wave a magic wand and I was 35, 40 pounds heavier, it's not the weight, it's what the weight represents in my life.
Yes.
It represents an inability to do the kinds of things that make me feel good, which in turn make me love myself. So it's not the weight on the scale, it's that there is a size for me, and because I love fashion so much, there's a way that I move through the world and I'm comfortable at a certain size and weight.
Right. So yeah, and that's important too. You need to find where you're comfortable. Don't let anybody tell you where you need to be comfortable. If you have shed 50 pounds and you think this is where I need to be and this is where I want to stay, let them know that. Go to that doctor, get that note. You know what I mean?
I plan on doing it. Like I've already said, I'm planning. My goal weight is 164. It's very hard for me to get there. I got there once and I could not maintain it. And it was very hard. And so I'm gonna go ask for 170. I think 6 pounds above that 164 is perfect spot for me because I know I can maintain under 170. I've done it before, so I know I can do that. So I will go see a doctor to get that. So if you feel that your goal weight is too hard to get there, go see a doctor. If you've lost a significant amount of weight and you've gotten to a point where you feel comfortable in your body and you're doing well, then, because remember, because you told us yourself, BMI is not a good measurement because you at one point were actually considered obese and you were actually a fitness, like you were doing bodybuilding.
Yeah, at the height of my fitness career, I was an amateur bodybuilder for like a 5-year span. I lived that lifestyle and I competed 2 times. And at 5'6" and 164 pounds, I fell into the obese state.
But she was a
But I was
bodybuilder.
wearing a lady size 5.
Isn't that crazy?
So the body mass index, everybody would agree that it is an antiquated tool. However, some, not just WW, other places still use it as a gauge. But it definitely is open to.
Well, I look at it this way. Look at how long it took them to change around the food chart.
Wheel.
The food, right?
Canada Food Guide.
The Canada Food Guide needed to change, and it finally did.
Yeah.
Which I think it was a good change in my opinion. Like I think it was great that they're looking at it in a holistic type of way instead of categorizing it because that makes it a little bit more complicated. It's the same idea as when you're looking at that whole. Where is my body meant to be? Where am I?
Because every body is different. Every body is different.
It is. And if members would like to have another metric to measure how they're doing, you know, the most recent one, and it has a lot of efficacy, is waist to hip ratio. Because that takes into consideration your build.
Right. So
And for women, I know a waist measurement under 35 is associated with good health.
Oh, that's good to know.
So if you think about that as a goal, that's an amazing goal to have.
There's a great question here, Lorraine, that Beth is asking. Why is it harder to lose weight when you get older, even with the same effort?
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't want her to fall into the mindset of thinking that just because I'm older, it's more difficult to lose weight. So that being said, over the years past 35, we lose muscle mass little by little by little. And muscle chews up more calories than fat. So when you're younger and you just by default have more muscle, you are burning through more calories as a result of that. So as we age and lose muscle, you now are at a point where you store more calories as fat because your body's just not burning as many calories as it used to.
Right.
That's one of the reasons. Now, aging and weight loss are not mutually exclusive. You can lose weight. I'm 55, and when I do work the WW program, I lose weight like everybody else.
Yeah.
You do have to be more consistent when you're older, because the days of saying, oh, I'm going to lose 8 pounds by that party next weekend.
Doesn't
Unrealistic.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Unrealistic.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Consistency is the biggest factor.
I think
You
that,
don't have to be perfect.
and I think that's the thing, yeah.
You just need to be consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, like, that's what changed for us this time too, Lorraine, like what you're saying about consistency. When we tried the W program all the time, we weren't consistent. We were the Mondays coming up, we'll start back on Monday kind of guys.
Yeah.
And so because we were consistent, we never had great results. But now that this time we actually were consistent and we had those moments we fell off, we came right back. We were consistently, almost daily, trying to be as good as we could, and it ended up working for us this time.
Yeah.
Anna, actually,
And
Anna,
whenever you get, there are compounding factors, with alcohol. That might be a reality for her as well. Maybe she just needs to check in with if that's a factor for her, because there are many factors with weight loss and alcohol that are different when you're older.
right.
Yeah, but typically stay the course and be as consistent as possible. Like, don't have a completely blown out weekend, because that will undo most of your,
Yeah,
Right.
your work.
when you're younger, you can probably do that.
Yeah. So there was another.
It's like the last question, and we'll.
Yeah, there was one last question. It was from Anna Newman, and it says, "Hi, my question is, do both of you have family that supported you during this journey?"
So we'll go with you, Lorraine, first, and then we'll answer after.
Okay, so the answer is yes. My husband wouldn't care if I was 150 or 350. He's oblivious to it. So he is supportive by default, because he's like, okay, that's what you're doing, whatever. So yes, but he doesn't stop eating pork. He doesn't change his diet for me. And he doesn't exercise. So he's supportive in what I have to do to have my life the way I want it. But he doesn't change his for me.
Right, because it's your own choices, it's not his choices. But he's supportive of your
Yeah.
choices and helps you and encourages you.
Yes.
So we're lucky because we have each other, so we do support each other.
Right.
We're very lucky. We will say that. Like, a lot of people, it is a very good support system.
Yeah.
We have each other. Like, when Jean-Luc has bad days, I help him out, and vice versa. He helps me get out of my funk. Because we still have moments where we think we're fat. We still have moments where we think we're ugly.
I've been sitting here today going, ooh, I don't like this pink shirt on me. And it's weird. I sit there and I be honest. I'm looking here going, okay, I don't like the angle right now.
I like my angle.
But it's not something that's going to make me want to go eat the fridge now.
No.
I don't let that happen anymore.
No.
I'm okay to have a good day, bad day now from time to time. That's okay. That's normal, I think, in my mind now. I have those moments. As far as family members supporting, it's on and off sometimes when it comes to family members. I think
my family more so.
Yes. I think my family has seen me up and down. My mom is supportive now. I had to ask her to she had to learn how to speak to me now, because I've also changed. I'm no longer the same person. I no longer present myself the same way I used to. And I explain myself differently now. If I want something, I now ask for it, which I never used to before. And it's even at sometimes asking for a simple thank you, I think, it's okay to do that sometimes. Make people realize that, you need to be appreciated too. And I think a lot of times people think, oh, well, it's just a phase.
Yeah.
This is just a phase. You're gonna end up gaining it all back.
I've been lucky. Like, I've been very lucky in terms of my support. I've always had very supportive parents. My sister too. My sister today actually messaged us. I was saying, "Oh my God, you guys have 7,000 subscribers. I remember you guys only had 200." So my sister's even proud of our social life that we have created for us. My mom and my sister are all very supportive about that. So, and they support him too through all this as well. So I've been lucky to have that my entire life.
Yeah.
My parents always pushed me to do the best I could be, so I have that. But it still I still hated myself. So I guess, as much as I tried to push myself and love myself, it still never worked. But, nowadays, my mom actually follows us a lot, so.
And I am going to change the one last question, because two people asked about the hip to waist ratio. They wanted a quick explanation about that. And that'll probably be the last question we take for today.
Yeah, sure. So you can, when I was doing this all the time, I knew the formula off the top of my head, but you can Google but it is the circumference of your waist relative to your hips. So it takes into consideration your stature,
Gotcha.
right? So, but like I said, a healthy waist to hip, like a number that's healthy for women is anything under 35 for a waist circumference. And I can't remember what it is for men. I want to say under 40.
Woohoo.
And then it would give you a number based on the relativity to your hip size.
Oh wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so check that out on online. Google it. Google
yeah.
it. And if you find anything and you're part of our group, please feel free to post it because I think a lot of people would like to hear about
Yeah.
that.
So thank you so much, Lorraine, for sort of coming out on with us today,
Thanks for taking an hour out of your day and
chatting with everyone.
entertaining everybody.
And we got people saying on it they love us three together, like Beth said, I love you three together. So I think this is a good topic to talk about today because a lot of people don't deal with that kind of topic. They don't deal with the. I really feel it, and it's funny because we never thought. Like I said, I think we talked about this. I don't know if it was in this show today or during. Everything's getting mixed up for today, but we never realized how much important the mind was needed for this journey to succeed.
Wow.
We always thought activity and exercise and food was all you needed, and all the believing yourself, being positive had nothing. It was never a part of that formula for us. And this time, it has been, and it's been instrumental.
And I think the thing is your mind is part of your food. Your mind is part of your activity. Your mind is part of your everything. Like,
yeah, but we don't think about it.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
don't. We often don't let that lead us. We don't let our minds lead us. We let our emotions and everything else.
I did
lead
want to
us.
ask one last question, Lorraine, before we talk about next week's show. Lorraine, when do you have workshops? If people want to log into your virtual workshops during the next few weeks while we're doing the virtual ones.
So I'm doing workshops around New Brunswick. So I have 10 of them, I believe. So let me see here. I do Tuesday 9:50 and 12. Sorry, 9:45 and 12:15.
Okay.
Wednesday is 8 a.m. and 9:45.
Okay.
Thursday I have Moncton at 9:45. Thursday night, 8 p.m. Friday, 9:45. And Sunday evening, 8 p.m.
Awesome.
So
Wow.
there's a ton of meetings. If you guys go on to Connect and look for Moncton, are they all mostly under Moncton or?
They can find me on Connect as LC Speakers WW65.
Okay, cool. But with Connect Group, can they look for your workshops under? Is it Moncton, New Brunswick for the Connect Group?
Moncton and St. John.
Okay,
Moncton
so Moncton
and
and
St.
St.
John.
John. So look under that group and look for Lorraine, and you'll be able to see all her workshops and join them whenever you want.
And Mike and Sue say you did an awesome job. It was a great show. And then Patty Steen also says, "Talk to you soon, Lorraine."
Thanks, girls.
So we're now going to talk about next week's workshop. So you get to hear it first. You get to hear to it as well, Lorraine. So next week's show, we're actually going back to the beginning of our channel. So for some of you who've been following us for a while, you guys know that when we first started doing our channel, we actually did a contest. In November of 2018, we did the contest. We asked for people to submit their workshop locations in the GTA that we'd actually go visit them.
And this was the beginning of our tour.
Yeah, this is how our tour all started, how we became the WB Gays and how we became who we are today.
Our original 5 contest winners have all agreed to come into a Zoom chat room and chat with us and talk about their current journey.
Heather, Lindy, Sandy Smart, Jennifer, and Jane will all be our guests next week. So we'll be doing a similar format. We'll talk about their journey, how the things have been happening for them for the last year, because it's been a year since we did meet them at their original locations, and just talk and have another workshop like we had today. We hope you guys enjoy this. We just came up with this new workshop idea because we thought, we like talking.
And it's great to bring somebody else into the mix and get some different perspective.
And new opinions.
And Lorraine, do you mind repeating your Connect handle again?
L.E. Peters WW65.
L.P.
L.E. Peters.
Or L.E. Peters.
WW65.
WW.
Something I love your cat. Yeah, Keikos is making an appearance again. So thank you guys so much for watching today. If you guys enjoyed the show, please hit the like button below. It really helps us out. And please share. You guys, we can't share everything ourselves because otherwise Facebook blocks us. So if you guys share for us, it helps us out a lot.
Thanks,
And,
everybody.
And subscribe to our channel.
Thank you, Lorraine.
And thank you again, Lorraine.
Bye, guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Okay, Ghost wants some attention. Bye. Bye.